Welcome everyone to today's coaching call. Actually, this is gonna be we're gonna be doing this lesson live. So for everyone who's live, welcome. We will be going through the lesson. If you guys had any questions, please ask them. What today is gonna be specifically focused on, since it's a Wednesday, and every Wednesday we focus on Crypto Coin Pro. So we're gonna go over reading the charts, how to use Crypto Coin Pro, and just how to use it for the best use cases. So for everyone who is here right now, welcome. Without further ado, well, let's just go ahead and get started with this. Well, something that we're going to be going over today is how to read human emotions in charts. So we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to use Bitcoin for this example. We're going to go over exactly what this means, what this candlestick means. We're going to go over how to read emotions and how to read certain political events through just looking at the chart. And if you guys had any questions throughout this, just make sure to ask in the comment section, and I'll see those comments. So right now you can see, like, this is the lifetime of crypto. This is the lifetime of Bitcoin. Actually, this is from 2013. Yeah, so this is from October 16th, 2013 to modern day right now. And as you can see, if we actually zoom into this right now this is in 2015. If you want to go even more back, if you want to zoom in even more, 2013, there's still a lot of ups and downs when it comes to crypto, right? When it comes to Bitcoin. See, even in 2013, it traded as high as $1,000, but then it fell all the way down to almost $200 just a couple months later, right? So just seeing this, probably wondering what happened, why did the price drop? Well, this is why you're here. We're going to teach you exactly how you can read these events, look at them, and understand what's happening. But firstly, before we do that, we have to understand what candlesticks mean. Okay, what does this over here mean? What are these red bars? What are these green bars? Well, it's pretty simple the way it works. Green means the price is increased. Red means the price is decreased. If you look at this bar right here, this red bar, you see there's a rectangle, and then there's a line that also goes up and a line that goes down. What the line means is that this is the highest point that it traded at that day. This is the lowest point that it traded at that day. Now, when you look at the rectangle, at the top of the rectangle, when it's red, it means that this is when the day started. This is where the prices started off at, and this is where the prices ended off at. And the lines are just the price that it went for that day. So for example, over here, the price started off at 779 and it ended off at 655, but it also traded as low as $100 and it also traded as high as $120. Same thing with the green bars. The green bars, same thing, right? It has a little top and it has a little bottom, but the green bar is flipped. The bottom is the open. So it opened off the day at this and it closed the day off at the top point over here. So it's just switched. Does anyone have any questions about that? It's pretty simple, but if you guys need me to explain it again, I will do that. Let's give me an X in the chat box if you guys understand that. Are we good? Okay, yeah, I'll go over it again. Let me just find a bar that makes sense. Okay, so let's take a look at these two. So the bar over here, it started off, so this is December 9th, 2015. I'm seeing it on the top left of my screen right now. And this is in Crypto Coin Pro, by the way. I'll just go in here, just go in full screen mode so you guys can see better. So it started off the day at $419, right? The price is to the right side of the screen. If you can look, the price is changing when I move the mouse. So the price started off at $419 and it closed the day off at $454, but it traded as high as this and as low as this. And the next day on December 6th, on December 16th, it started off over here and ended off over here. So that's what these kind of bars mean, candlesticks mean. Now, how do you actually read human emotion with this, right? How does this make any sense? How do you make sense out of this? Well, the way this works is, if you guys were on the previous calls or if you've seen the boot camp or something, you know that there's 3 phases of a boom. Okay, the first phase is the early adopters, second phase is the institutional investors, and the third phase is when the public joins in. Now, in this particular scenario, back in 2013, you see all this big green line over here. This is stage 3 of a mini wave. Okay, this is stage 3 of a mini wave where all the public joins in, and this is why the price of Bitcoin or the price of anything that goes up so fast at this rate becomes unsustainable. So what happens is it follows up with a crash. Now, it just so happens that the thing that triggered the crash is a political event caused this to happen. And what happened is in the beginning of December of 2013, the biggest bank in China made an announcement that it's not going to support, it doesn't think that Bitcoin is a proper currency. So that's a really big, huge event that happened. And what started happening is, this is back in 2013 when the price of Bitcoin was $1,000. It crashed all the way down and started trading for as low as $100 over here, right? Within literally just a couple months. In a couple months, went from $1,000 to trading for as low as $100. And it closed off the day at $650. So it lost almost half of its value within a span of a month or two because of this event, okay? Because of this political event, because of this political news event. Now, when you take a look at this right now, I think I've showed you guys how to spot these in CryptoCoin Pro. So political and news events are huge when it comes to the prices of cryptocurrencies. And this is why we added in the news feature, right? So if you go under the news, and I would honestly ignore any speculations. I would only just look for political news events. So we can just scroll down, take a look at them. And if there's any political news events, you know that something's about to happen to certain prices. Now, this can be either good or it can be bad. Okay. The good can be, well, the bad can be something that happened back in 2013. Let me just go back to the chart again. When the major price of Bitcoin plummeted, right? Because of a bad news event. Bad news event happened. The price of Bitcoin back in 2013. Just go back here. It went from $1,200 to as low as literally $400 or $500 within literally 2-3 days. From December 4th to December 11th, it lost over half of its value, because of one news event. Now, this can also happen in another scenario where, I think the screen should stop sharing. Let me bring this back up again. Apologies for that. I think the screen stopped. Let me bring up the screen again. All right, cool. I think we have the screen back up. So what starts happening is, in scenarios like this, a good example would be, a good political standing would be whether good political standings have happened where major banks started accepting Bitcoin, or similar thing happened to Ripple when banks started using Ripple, and the prices of that skyrocketed. And that is by leveraging the news and the political news of what's happening, because there's a lot of politics and government that, because of their choices, make people panic buy and panic sell, right? Because when people hear that a certain bad thing has happened in the news, or when people hear that a certain good thing has happened in the news, that triggers emotions in them. So they either buy or they sell without thinking, which is what happened over here. If you see the left side of the map, you see it just goes all the way up. Even in the earlier stages over here, back in the beginning, in the beginning of 2018 and end of 2017, the prices just grew out of control because it was all over the news. Billionaires were talking about it. It was everywhere. So the prices just skyrocketed to the moon until it couldn't grow at that fast pace. So it went down a little bit, as you can see here. It's going to go skyrocket. So what started happening is it went down a little bit. Let me refresh this right now. It went down a little bit, and then people started panic selling. So it went down just a tiny little bit. It went down maybe $100, $200, and people thought it's the end of the world. Bitcoin's going to crash. And they started selling everything, which is why we're in the situation we are in right now. Same exact pattern happened when the Chinese thing happened, the Chinese bank situation, political thing happened, right? When it crashed, it traded as low as $100. People were freaking out. They were like, this is the end of Bitcoin. It's going to hit zero. And, you know, it's that really didn't really happen. A couple months later, it was back to what it was. And we saw another run. We saw another wave, right? So having said that, there's a lot of political events and human emotions that go behind this. And the main purpose and the best way that I see people being successful with this is by taking emotions out of it, right? Because cryptocurrencies are here to stay, right? Because I'm not saying Bitcoin is here to stay. I'm not saying a particular coin is here to stay, but I'm saying in general, cryptocurrencies are here to stay because right now they're solving a lot of problems in the economy. So you just have to read the news, actually understand what's happening, and leverage it. If a particular coin is going up, right, or if you let's just take a random coin and check it out. I'll show you guys. Let's just say EOS, okay? If we go to the news section and if we search up EOS right now, okay, over the last 24 hours, there has been a lot of news articles about EOS. And if I take a look at this very briefly, and if I see, I usually ignore things that are not political because it's just other people's speculations. But if I really see any political standings or political events that are happening regarding EOS, regarding that particular cryptocurrency, that's going to pique my interest. So I want to look more into that. And I want to act opposite of how the public world is going to act, right? Again, going to the famous quote that Warren Buffett says, when others are fearful, you have to be greedy. And when others are greedy, you have to be fearful. So when a news event that comes out that scares the crap out of everyone, that's when I personally become greedy. And that's when I want to actually see, okay, how can I benefit from this? Same thing with the other way. When there's another news article that comes out and it says that it's the best thing ever, everyone invest in it, I'll be very careful because a lot of quote unquote dumb money is going to get into it and it's going to inflate the price. So this is some small little things that it's not going to take a lot of time, maybe 20, 30 minutes a day. Just go over the news, just brief over it, right? Just brief over it, just check it out, go to the next page, look over it, see if there's any political events or anything that's happening right now when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Does anyone have any questions right now when it comes to this? I want to go back to a chart right now. I want to go to Ethereum chart so I can show you guys what's happening in Ethereum right now. Cool. So back in, let me just change my tool here. Back in beginning of 2018, Ethereum was trading for as high as 1,400, and even a couple months ago, it was trading as high as 400, or even a couple weeks ago, it was trading as high as $400, $500, and then now we can see it crashed, and right now it's at 180, right? And this is updated live, by the way. These black charts are updated live. So what's happening is, especially in this case in Ethereum, when let's read human emotions from this. We can see here that the prices are going down, and this is very much due to people panic selling, because Ethereum is used in a lot of cases when companies raise their money with Ethereum. So when new companies or new projects come up, they raise capital, they raise money for their project using Ethereum. And what starts happening is, let's just say a company raises $10 million in Ethereum to fund their company from investors and such, right? Now, when the price of Ethereum drops, that $10 million, for example, becomes $7 million, becomes $5 million. It just goes down. And what's happening is these big companies, since they have a lot of Ethereum, and if they dump out all their Ethereum, a lot of the prices dropped. And that's what my guess is what's happening right now to Ethereum. Because I've been reading a couple news articles and when again on the news, and these big ICOs, what we call them, the companies that raise money with Ethereum, they're called ICOs. They're panic selling, right? And when the big companies panic sell, the smaller investors, they also panic sell as well. They're like, oh my God, Ethereum's crashing. Everyone sell, everyone sell, everyone sell. But this is just another market cycle, right? Ethereum's gonna hit a new low, and then history repeats itself. And my guess it's gonna go back up because Ethereum is a major currency in the crypto space. And I think this is way undervalued for crypto right now. That's just my guess. This is absolutely not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you invest. But this is what I'm seeing right now, right? What I'm seeing is people are panic selling. They have no idea why the price is going down, so they're just selling, and they're selling for cheap. And what that happens is for investors who have done their due diligence and who actually have the right knowledge and resources, they're actually going to go ahead and invest more in this. And my guess is within the next couple of weeks or a month or so, we're going to see Ethereum price go back up. But that's just my guess. I don't know. I don't control the market. It might go even more down than this, but that's just the way I see it right now. And that's, again, how to read human emotions, right? You see the charts, people panic sell, and the best way to read human emotions is just look at the news, see what's happening in the news. Does anyone have any questions about that? That's the main thing I wanted to go over today. If anyone any questions, please ask it. You guys know how to read the charts? Are we good on that as well? All right, we're getting a bunch of yeses. Well, that's the main thing that I wanted to go over today. Does anyone have, that's the main thing I wanted to go over today in today's lesson. Does anyone have any questions about any functionalities of the software or anything that you guys want to learn about the software, how to leverage the software, whether it be looking at the table filters, anything it may be, ask the question and we're here for you. Let me just check according to now if there's any swing trading. Okay, there's no swing trading presets. If you guys have any questions, ask it. I'm just going to do some things right in front of you guys to show you guys what my process is to research coins. My first process is if I go to swing trading preset and there's nothing there, I clear the filter and I go ahead and check out a custom preset, which is volume over $1 million and percent change over 10%. And it gives me these options right now. I'm personally invested in this coin right now, Hollow, but now I have a list of cryptocurrencies that have a volume of $1 million plus over the last 24 hours and has increased in price by over 10% over the last 24 hours. So this is a filter that I use when I want to research more coins. This is just a filter. This is not, the filter doesn't say go buy these coins. It's just a filter for you to see the performance of the coins without having to analyze thousands of coins. So right now, this coin has piqued my interest. I want to see if I can read any human emotions on this. So what I want to go ahead and do is, firstly, I want to actually see if if there's anything happening in the news about this coin. So this is Hollow or Hot. I want to go to the news and see if there's anything happening for Hollow. There's no news events, but there's a couple articles about it that explain what Hollow is. So this could be possibly good for more research. So if I want to do more research on this coin, I'm just going to read some articles about it, see what this is actually all about. Perfect. There's articles about how it works. And on top of that, if we go back to Hollow, we can check out their social media and also their site. So this is pretty much my process when I'm looking for potential new coins. Now, if you guys haven't already, make sure to go watch the video when I go over how to actually find coins that I personally invest in. But right now, I just wanted to show you guys this briefly, the table filters briefly on top of the lesson that we had today. I mean, other than that, that's pretty much what I wanted to go over today. Just how to read human emotions on charts and how to actually read the candlesticks, right? If If you guys fully understand how to read this candlesticks, and that's great. Other than that, make sure to, for those of you who are live right now, make sure to join us in tomorrow's call, because we're going to go over swing trading specifically and how to swing trade. And we'll be going over day trading and stuff as well. But tomorrow's call is swing trading. It's going to be pretty fun. So other than that, thanks everyone for joining us live. If you have any questions, please ask it now. All right, so we're getting one question. What does the bottom bar describe in the blue? So this is the volume of the coins that are there in the last 24 hours. So this blue bar is the same thing as this filter right here. Let me show you guys this filter, the volume filter. Pretty much what volume means is the volume of the coin that is being moved around in all the different exchanges. So it's an active coin. This just shows you that that's an active coin. Over $1 million worth of it has been exchanged and moved around over the last 24 hours. And that's healthy. That's a healthy thing. So that's what the blue bars mean. It's just the same thing as this filter. All right, cool. All right, awesome. I don't think we're getting any more questions. Again, Wednesdays are really brief. I just go over Crypto Coin Pro, any new features that we may have. We may be adding a couple of new features. I'm still talking to the developers about that. But if we do, we will be covering it on Wednesdays, on the Wednesday calls. But Wednesday calls, today's calls are specifically only about Crypto Coin Pro, because we divided into 3 calls a week. But other than that, I think that's it. If you guys have any more questions, you can ask it. Other than that, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's call. Thanks for joining on, guys.